Welcome to This Week in Things I Care About for the week of June 13th, 2026. So the week leading up to Saturday, June 13th, 2026. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just decided to make this video for fun, but here we are. It's basically just going to be me talking about the things this week that I care about, things that excite me, or things that I've done, things that I'm maybe looking forward to. It's just going to be a kind of a recap of this week, and then maybe even just a little bit of a conversation about what's going to be happening next week. And then we're also going to finish off with a tier list because I love doing lists of things that I like. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So the first big news of this week was on Tuesday. There was a Nintendo Direct, and there was lots of big news. I do have a video up on the channel going over the Direct in its entirety, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it right now. But obviously, there was the Ocarina of Time remake. There was a bunch of other really cool announcements. Again, you should just go ahead and check out the video that I did talking about the Nintendo Direct. But it was a huge Direct, probably one of the best Directs that I've seen in quite some time. And one of the huge announcements from the Direct was the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. This came out of nowhere. We had no idea it was coming. It was a huge surprise, and it was awesome. Just having the Kingdom Hearts community have something to latch onto again for the first time in like 4 years, especially after the cancellation of Missing Link, just feels so good. We are back. We are excited again. Kingdom Hearts is real, and it's one of my favorite game franchises. So it's just really exciting to have something to talk about again. Again, I have a full video about the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer on the channel, so feel free to check that out if you're interested in more details about Kingdom Hearts 4. Another announcement that was in the Direct was Atelier Karia, though it was a very, very tiny announcement within at least the American version of the Direct. We did get a teaser trailer, and then just yesterday we got this, which is a first look. It's about 10 minutes long, where the head of Gust goes through the game in a little bit more detail, and this was really exciting. I love the Atelier series. I recently got into it just last year. My first game in the series was Rorona because it was on sale. I played it. It was great. I loved it. And then I skipped the rest of the Rorona trilogy and the next trilogy, the Dust trilogy, and went straight to the Mysterious trilogy, which was Atelier Sophie. I played the first Atelier Sophie game, loved that game. Then I played Atelier Ryza 1, which I haven't quite finished yet, but I'm working through that. And then now we have this. This is a sequel to Atelier Yumiya. Normally, if you don't know, Atelier games come out in trilogies, and so Yumiya came out 2 years ago, and this is the sequel to Atelier Yumiya. Now, it's made a lot of changes to the formula, but it's an Atelier game, so you kind of know what you're going to get. It's a JRPG with gathering and synthesis mechanics, and you basically craft everything apparently in this game. One of the things that they kept mentioning as part of this reveal was that everything is connected, and all of the things that you do require synthesis, and all of the systems sort of feed back into each other. So the synthesis doesn't just involve combat, it's also involved in your building for your base. It's involved in exploration. It's involved in your customization, outfits for your character. This character, Karya, who's the protagonist of this game, her gimmick is that she eats literally everything. And so anything that you create through synthesis, she can eat. And that will change her properties. It will also potentially do other things that we don't know about. The game looks super irreverent and weird and silly and great, and I love the character design, so really excited for Atelier Karia. Cannot wait to play this game when it comes out later this year. This week in PlayStation Plus, we got some news. June games are dropping, and there's really one big one that I want to highlight here, which is Final Fantasy 16. I have not yet played Final Fantasy 16. I I just hadn't got around to it. It's just one of those games where it's been on my list forever, sort of like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where I just haven't got to it yet. I've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I really enjoyed that, but I haven't got to Rebirth yet. But with the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Revelation coming out early next year, it's pretty clear that they want people to get on the Final Fantasy train, and so they're dropping Final Fantasy 16 onto PlayStation Plus on June 16th, appropriately, which is in 3 days. So I will definitely be playing that next week. Expect my thoughts on it in next week's This Week in Things I Care About. Also, this week we got a brand new patch for League of Legends, and the main thing that was exciting about this patch is ARAM Mayhem updates. I don't really play much Summoner's Rift anymore, but my friends and I like to play ARAM Mayhem because it's quick, it's fun, there's no stakes. You can get some crazy wacky builds. And so a couple weeks ago they announced that they were going to change a bunch of things in ARAM Mayhem, including how traits work, some of the augments, how different champions were going to be receiving sort of bespoke ability augments, things like that. And so that was just a really exciting news. We finally got that dropped this week, and it's been really fun so far. So I've been really enjoying that. And the big thing here, in client, they're showing that they're calling this set 2 of ARAM Mayhem. And when they say something like that, that makes me think that they're going to continue to iterate on this with set 3 and then set 4 and so on. And here at the end of the dev update, they even say that they're looking forward to making Mayhem content for the future of this year and next. So it sounds like we're getting dedicated ARAM Mayhem content. I think it's the best game mode that League has made since TFT. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I am really, really excited for the future of ARAM Mayhem. It's absolutely the most fun you can have in League of Legends. Speaking of TFT, we are deep in the middle of set 17 right now, and they did announce, I didn't actually bring this up. Let me pull up a tab about this. So there was this dev update that came out for TFT, and the big news here is that they are switching from their bespoke proprietary engine that they made for TFT, and they're moving to Unreal Engine 5, which is huge news because that means that they are looking to make big changes to the game. And they're also introducing a brand new client specifically for TFT. Right now, TFT runs in the League of Legends client, but they're going to be releasing a client specifically for TFT. This game has exploded. TFT is huge, and it's become its own thing. Obviously, it is adjacent to League of Legends in that it pulls the same characters from League's character roster and so on, but TFT has become its own beast. It really is its own game now. I love TFT. I play it all the time, almost every day. And so I'm really excited for whatever tech upgrades they can bring to the game, particularly in the mobile version of the game. Could definitely use some upgrades, and they talk about that a little bit here. But yeah, we're getting a new client. We're moving to Unreal. They're going to be doing that pretty quickly here when set 18 drops, whatever that ends up being. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. The future of TFT is looking really, really good. Obviously, the game is super successful, and Riot wants to support it as its own project. And so we're just really, really excited to see how TFT evolves. I will be doing a full set 17 review when we get closer to Worlds for set 17, probably next month or so. But for right now, just exciting news for the future of Teamfight Tactics. In other news, not video game related, we got the finale of season 21 or series 21. Sorry, Jason, of Taskmaster UK, and this season was great. I really loved the cast of this season. Obviously, for Americans, it was exciting to see Kumail Nanjiani there, but everyone else was amazing too. Amy Gledhill, Armando Iannucci, Joanna Page, and Joel Dommett. Really great cast. Clearly, Greg really loved this cast as well. He rarely says he's genuinely sad to see them go, but at the end of this episode, he said he was genuinely sad to see this cast go. And I agree. It was a wonderful cast. just a great sort of spread of personalities, and everybody was really fun. The winner was absolutely deserved. I won't spoil it, but the winner was absolutely deserved, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, every series of Taskmaster is great. There has not been a bad series of Taskmaster yet, but some of them are better than others. This one, I would say, is easily in the top half of Taskmaster seasons. I think it was just a joy to watch, and it went too soon. As with every Taskmaster season, 10 weeks goes by so fast, and it's just sad to see it go. But good news is we're going to be getting Series 22 coming up in, I think it's going to be around September or October of this year. I'm not sure exactly what the release cadence is, but the cast for this is also completely nuts. We'll talk about it real quick here. It's about a minute long video. So, Series 22 cast, Chloe Petz. I don't know much about this person. Izzy Sooty is hilarious. I've seen her on a number of things, different panel shows, QI, things like that. Matt Lucas, also hilarious, very iconic. Nina Conti has this like ventriloquist thing, and then Richard Iowati is the big highlight. How they got Richard Iowati, I have no idea. He is probably the biggest comedian, biggest star that they've ever had on the show, outside of the New Year's treats and stuff like that. But to have Iowati here for like a full series is absolutely insane behavior from Alex. So really excited. I think Richard is going to be exceptionally terrible at this, which is why it's funny. But yeah, season 22 obviously looks like an awesome cast as always. Most of these people I haven't seen too much of. I've seen a little bit of Izzy Sooty, a little bit of Matt Lucas, a little bit of Nina Conti, but Richard Iowati, obviously the big highlight here. And then the theme is like this sort of Greek god thing, which is a cool theme that they haven't done before. So that's the news that I care about this week. I did have a couple other things that I want to talk about, and then we will wrap up. The first thing is I did just this week get 100% completion on Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. You can see my completion stats here. I got the platinum trophy as well, which I will show you guys. I did write up a review, actually a pretty extensive review of this game. It was about an hour long, and or no, I'm sorry, it was about half an hour long. It wasn't quite an hour. Um, and I recorded the audio for it, and I was going to make like a full video review about the game, but then it turned out that when I was recording the game, I had basically screwed up recording everything, and so all of my footage was bad. So I don't really have any footage of me going through the game. And so if I'm gonna do a video about Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which I would like to do because I wrote this big long script, it'll probably just be me reading through the script, maybe with a few little pieces of video and screenshots, but it's not going to be quite the full video that I was really hoping to make, unfortunately. But the good news is we got the platinum. It's a pretty easy platinum, as you can see. About 4.8% of players have earned it, but it's a really good time. I really enjoyed the game. So if I don't end up posting the video review, just know that this is my favorite Lego game to come out in at least a decade, if not more. It's easily in my top 5 Lego games. It's a great Batman game. It's wonderful. There are very, very few criticisms I have for it, and I'm just so proud of the way that TT Games recovered from, honestly, the disaster that was the Skywalker saga, and really made it just an excellent, tight, polished Lego game. So excited to see what they do in the future, and happy to have gotten the platinum. Okay, back to my desktop screen here. And the last thing I wanted to do, since we were talking about Taskmaster, is just do a quick tier list of my top 5 favorite Taskmaster seasons. And then there's a couple honorable mentions. I want to preface this before we get to the screen that I love Taskmaster. I love every season of Taskmaster. There is not a bad season of Taskmaster. and all of them have wonderful qualities, but these are just the ones that I personally like the most. And everyone's going to have a different opinion. Obviously, some are more beloved than others, sort of generally, but everyone has characters and cast members and seasons that they like more than others, and that's perfectly fine. And that's one of the beautiful things about Taskmaster, is that there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So I just wanted to talk really quickly about my top Taskmaster seasons. So this tier list only had seasons 1 through 19 on it. That's okay. I didn't want to put season 21 on this list since it just finished. I'll probably need to watch it again before I formulate a full opinion on it. And series 20 was great, but is not in my top 5. So uh, let's just go from honorable mentions. This is the season with Mike Wozniak, Lee Mack, Sarah Kendall, Jamali Maddox, and I can't remember this girl's name, unfortunately. I feel bad about that. But that season is great just because mostly of Mike Wozniak. He basically carries this season, but he has some of the all-time great Taskmaster moments, and he is so ubiquitous with the show that he ended up even being the Taskmaster's assistant on the children's version of Taskmaster. He's just hilarious, and he is just wonderful, and he's the reason why I go back and watch this season. Him and Lee Mack on a team is obviously great. Lee Mack is very funny. This season has a great spread of personalities, but really this is the Mike Wozniak season. He's one of my all-time favorite players, so it gets an honorable mention because the rest of it's not amazing, but he's so wonderful. And then this season with Sophie Duker, Chris Ramsey, Judy Love, Arlo Hanlon, and Bridget Chrissy is such a insane season. So many great moments. I think it just barely doesn't creep into the top 5 for me. It really is a wonderful season, and I have a hard time not putting it in top 5, but there's just so many other good seasons. But it's wonderful. There are some incredible moments here. The cast is great. Particularly Chris Ramsey is just one of my favorites. He's got such an incredible attitude, so positive. Judy Love is basically the underdog of this series, and she is so funny. But Bridget Christie too is also pretty bad, but also very funny. And Alex absolutely gets frustrated with her. It's very good. But honorable mention again, it's very difficult to not put it in the top 5, but it is a great season. At number 5, we have a very recent season, season 19. This is the season with Jason Mantzoukas, which was obviously a huge deal. American coming over and participating in the series and sort of opening the door for more Americans to play, which we got in the form of Camille Nanjiani in the most recent season. But Jason Mantzoukas, Stevie Martin, JV Mantzoukas team was great. I think this cast has maybe the best spread of personalities in the entire series. Just like everybody is so different and so unique. You have Matthew Bainton, who's obviously like very excited to be there, plays his heart out, very good at Taskmaster. You've got Fatih Al Ghori, who is maybe the greatest villain, I would say, of Taskmaster, in that she just does not care. And like at almost every task, she's just so irritated and doesn't want to do it, but she's good spirited in the way that, I mean, that's part of her character, and ultimately she is excited to be part of the show and part of the team, but she plays this like, oh god, sort of character very very well. And it's just an incredible season. I mean, everyone in the season is great. Everyone has stuff to do in the season. Jason Mantzoukas is obviously like this insane, chaotic nightmare, and Stevie Martin, sort of the one that nobody really knew much about, but she ends up being absolutely hilarious. So great cast overall, and my 5th favorite season of Taskmaster. Number 4, I just recently rewatched this, and it actually went up a couple spots for me probably on rewatch. Dara O'Brien, Munya Chihuahua, Sarah Millican, Fern Brady, John Kearns. This cast is amazing. This is one of the more dysfunctional or dysfunctional casts in the series. Uh, John Kearns is probably the best worst player to ever play Taskmaster, in my opinion. He's just so awful at everything, but it's so funny, and he has such a good attitude about it. And some of John's highlights in the series are some of the best in the entire Taskmaster canon. Fern Brady also is just, she's naturally horrible at a lot of this stuff, but she's so funny. She's just so weird. And according to Alex, she surprised everyone and completely changed the way that the game is played. So, uh, big props to Fern for just being such a weird addition. Manya Chihuahua, just the most irreverent, youthful energy out of probably anyone that's ever played. Sarah Millican is a classic, very funny. Just has a great rapport with Greg and the rest of the cast, and then Dara O'Brien, the giant in more ways than one, who absolutely dominates this series. At that point in time, had the best score ever. He's a genius and so funny. So this season was great. Again, just rewatched it. I think it's got an incredible cast, and just had a great time. Next, we have one of the closest series to ever come out of Taskmaster, other than Victoria Coren Mitchell. But we have Alan Davies, who I absolutely adore, one of the funniest men on Taskmaster. Victoria Coren Mitchell, Gus Kahn, one of my all-time favorites, probably in my top three players of all time. Morgana Robinson, and Desiree Birch. Incredible, incredible spread of people. My favorite thing about this season is that these people really cared about each other. There's like a pretty infamous prize task where they all have to get something for another contestant, and they all get each other something other than one that they genuinely really like. And Greg gets frustrated because it's too wholesome. And yeah, this cast just really got along, and they had a great time. You can tell they really loved being together. It's one of the older casts in the show's history, and it's just a great cast. I absolutely loved it. I think Guz, honestly, is just one of my favorites because, sort of like Munya, every season has a character like this, or every season attempts to have a character like this. But sort of like Munya, sort of like Chris Ramsey, that he's just so happy to be there and so positive, and he just takes everything with such stride that I can't help but love the guy. And so, genuinely, one of the most wholesome casts that we've ever had. Uh, Season 7 is most people's favorite season for good reason. It's an incredible season. Uh, there are probably more iconic Taskmaster moments in this season than in any other season. Uh, Obviously, the cast is completely insane. Carrie Godleman, very funny, very sort of deadpan a lot of the time, but when she unleashes, she really unleashes. Phil Wang is just. He's obviously trying to be as stupid and funny as possible in the best way. James Acaster has this really antagonistic relationship with Alex and Greg, which is wonderful. Uh, Nappet, who there's literally a portion of the Taskmaster stage named after her, the Nappet, which is the sort of runway that comes off the stage because of her incredible iconic moment where she falls off. And then who did I not talk about so far? Carrie, Phil, James, Jessica. Oh my God, why am I blanking? I'm literally looking at the image right now. Oh my God, this is gonna bug me. Okay, I'll come back to it. But yeah, Series 7 is oh, Rod Gilbert. I'm sorry. Rod Gilbert, he's right there on the left. Rod Gilbert, who is one of Greg's best friends, and so he comes in with this sort of relationship that other people have to work around and navigate, and he's also clearly just trying to break the show down, almost Jason Mantzoukas style. He's really one of the first players to do that at that extreme level. Series 7 is amazing. It's obviously one of the best seasons. Almost everyone agrees this is one of the top. But my personal favorite season is season 16. Um, we've got the two Sues. So you've got Sue Perkins, Susan Wokoma, uh, two of the most like delightful women to ever play the show. Their energy together on a team is wonderful. Their energy separately is wonderful. The way that they approach tasks, their energy in studio. I mean, they're just infectious. They're so fun. I absolutely love them. I would love to be their friends. They're just so great. Uh, Lucy Beaumont is probably the worst player to ever play, um, in the best way possible. I mean, she is categorically awful at Taskmaster, and she's hilarious. I mean, she hams it up. She plays this character, but and some people dislike it. I personally think it's so funny. So I love Lucy Beaumont. I think she's great. Just the one of the weirdest characters to ever play, alongside two of the other characters who are the most iconic, in my opinion. Julian Clary, who was like the most, again, antagonistic player, but does remarkably well in the series. Actually, almost wins the series, but he's just so like, I mean, his personality is that of just a sort of. Um, he just he just doesn't care. He just wants to be done with it. He's just, who he's just one of these dismissive sort of people, but it's so funny and it works so well in this cast because he's juxtaposed with the Sues and then with Sam Campbell, who is my favorite Taskmaster player of all time, my favorite winner of all time. Sam Campbell is one of the funniest people on the planet, in my opinion. I love Sam Campbell. Everything he touches is gold. He is unbelievably funny, and I am so glad that he was on Taskmaster because I discovered him through Taskmaster. And one of the beautiful things about this show is that so many people have discovered some of their favorite comedians as a result of Taskmaster. Sam is one of the funniest people I've ever seen. He is currently one of my favorite comedians. I absolutely adore him. And every time, I mean, he is just a magnet for these incredible clips. He's just every time he opens his mouth, something incredibly funny comes out. He has some of the best moments in all of Taskmaster history. If you want, you should go to the Taskmaster YouTube channel and watch Sam Campbell's best bits. He is one of the funniest people alive. I mean, the series all overall is incredible. I love the entire cast, but I think Sam is what bumps it up to number one for me. So that's my favorite Taskmaster series. There's obviously wonderful series throughout the remainder here. Some of the earlier ones are just a little bit too short because they were less than 10 episodes. If they were longer, maybe I'd have a better opinion of them, but they're all good. I mean, there is literally not a single dud in here. Every single series has a cast worth watching. So you should go watch Taskmaster. It's great. It's one of the best shows on television. One of my favorite comedy shows ever made. If they keep doing this forever, I'll be happy. It's an amazing, amazing show. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in to This Week in Things I Care About for the week of June 13th, 2026. I will be back next week on June 20th to talk about everything that's going to be happening for the upcoming week. Going to be playing some Final Fantasy 16 when that drops on PlayStation Network on June 16th. And then who knows what other things will happen next week that will be exciting to talk about. But again, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next week. Bye bye.